Hello, and welcome to your astrological vibrations for Sunday, May 8th, 2016 by Gaia Blooming. I am Mimi, and our energy mantra for today is, my focused passions lead me to my talents. And I want to say happy Mother's Day to all the mamas out there, whether feminine, masculine, animal, planet, rock. Happy Mother's Day, and thank you for your nurturing energy that you lend to the world. And today we've got a really interesting day. We've got the moon in Gemini, making some interesting connections, making some tougher connections. But these tougher connections, this moon in Gemini, what's coming up is that this is a big day for a shift in focus. The first thing that I want to mention besides the moon in Gemini is that we have Jupiter going direct tomorrow, actually. So Jupiter has been retrograde in the sign of Virgo. It's taking us all the way back to 13 degrees. It's been hanging out at 13 degrees, that evolution, revolution, that degree of change. And this being the last day of Jupiter retrograde, it's the last day to really, I don't want to say it's their last chance to tune into your body, because it's by no means your last chance, but this is like amplified energy of that tuning in, recognizing what's coming from within, the inner wisdom. So really shift that focus. The moon in Gemini might be taking your focus here to the mind, but keep redirecting. Like, okay, I hear you. I know what you're saying. Acknowledge the mind. Always acknowledge the mind and what it's saying, because it doesn't like being not acknowledged. But then you take it to a deeper level and be like, okay, so what's all my body mind saying? How does this work together? And this is how we're going to work through some of this resistance between the mind and the body. They don't have to be at odds. You are one being. You can work together. So keep bringing that energy on down. Okay, I hear you. What are you saying? We're shifting that focus from just this like mind-dominated leadership into whole leadership. Oh, true democracy of mind, body, spirit, soul. So that's kind of the energy today, is like shifting that energy into finding that harmony. We begin the day with the moon in Gemini squaring Neptune. So you may have had some interesting dreams. I've been having some off-the-wall dreams. And these may be the kind of brain dump dreams where they're just like kind of replaying everything in your consciousness, or these dreams can really be tying into past life energy. We're going to get a little bit more into the past life stuff, but pay attention. Like, was it a brain dump, or was there some important information in there that you needed to recognize? With this moon in Gemini, it really could go either way. It could even be a combination of both. So if you are a dream watcher, notice what happened. The moon's then going to square Jupiter, like I said, the last day retrograde, asking us to see that resistance that we have to the mind, body, and see how we can make them cohesive. Bring them in to work together, because they're both so important. And another thing too that's really interesting is, we are so mind focused that the mind always takes our messages from our body and then interprets them. Like, I've recognized this for me with anxiety and excitement. I'll be like, oh, I'm feeling anxious. And I'm like, wait, why am I anxious? I'm actually excited. My mind is like, oh, this doesn't feel good. This doesn't feel good. Anxiety. I'm like, wait, this does feel good. And just that shift, and I know it's not like that all the time with anxiety, but just that shift is, by that consciousness, bringing that consciousness in, can really shift my path. And so really pay attention. How is your mind interpreting your body's messages? And is this interpretation accurate? Because, the body has a language all of its own, as the mind has a language of all its own. Everything's like language. This is the language of the stars. So maybe its interpretation needs a little work. So, change that focus. Find that resistance. Shift that resistance. We then have the moon opposite Saturn, 14 degrees. That's a 5, so strong mind degree still happening with this. And this is giving your mind an opportunity to get in and work with some of those beliefs that we've been carrying. We've really been shifting as we dug in deep this week with all this retrograde energy and with that new moon. We dug in deep, and so you may have some things coming up. So work with them. This opposition does not have to be a tug of war, like, I'm right, no, I'm right. This opposition can be like, how can we find this common ground? How can we see eye to eye? The final main aspect of the day is we have the moon sextile Uranus at 22 degrees. Uranus is now 22 degrees. So Uranus is at a Uranus degree. So this is going to help with all of that change of focus that I'm talking. Innovation, ideas, change, shift in the way you're thinking is all coming in. I think your focus needs to be, how am I getting in alignment with myself? Am I in alignment with my passions? Am I in alignment with my talents? Am I in alignment with my worth? Am I in alignment with my soul embodied energy? And then, keep moving from that place and keep letting your mind shift and expand and open from that place. So the one thing that I was like, oh, this is interesting today that I wanted to bring up, we have Mercury trine the North Node today at 20 degrees. And this is sextiling the South Node in Pisces. And so this may bring some clarity or bring up some questions to lead to clarity around some past life issues that you may still be carrying in your energy field, in your body. The key in this is recognizing, where is this feeding into your life right now? How is this meant to empower your life right now? Sometimes, I'm guilty of this too, we get caught up in this past life story and we see like, oh, this person was this in this life. I was this energy in this life. And while there's always a through line, we are always showing up different. We have different lessons to move through. And so don't base, your feelings on somebody else just around a past life from another life. I have been very guilty of that myself. Really recognize what you're being called to learn through any of this stuff that comes up. And like I said, this may come up in your dreams, so really pay attention. This may have some past life keys for you to help bring you clarity, help bring you nurturing to this life. But recognize that just because somebody was great to you in a past life or somebody was not so great to you in a past life does not mean that they're that way in this life. So recognize what you need to do. It may be some forgiveness. It may be some letting go. It may be some cord cutting. But recognize what's showing up. And if you don't have the clarity, ask Spirit to bring you clarity for this. Because again, our focus today is finding your alignment, finding your focus that helps you dive in deeper to your worth, dive in deeper to your talents that you're meant to bring forward, and really honor your passions. So, the cards I pulled today. Well, we've got the mind card. The mind card is here, present. Moon in Gemini, all of these connections. Your mind is definitely going to be active. But can you find the harmony? By connecting to the other parts of yourself. By connecting to your source, your light energy, God energy within. I've really been doing, like I keep telling you guys, a lot of work this week. And my work has been around opening my heart to experience instead of like shutting down and closing myself off to experience. And so that's been part of me finding harmony. My mind's like, oh, you don't want to do that. That's going to cause hurt. And meanwhile, my soul's like, yes, we are running headfirst into this and it's okay. This is meant to be part of our experience. So find that harmony, find that alignment within you. It may involve some tuning in, turning in, listening to your higher wisdom, your higher self. Don't hold yourself back. The Miser card. Don't hold yourself back from fear. Don't hold your jewels back. Don't hold back from these experiences of seeing these past lives, working with these past lives, working with your life now, listening to your body now. All of this is helping us get increased harmony. So, really interesting Astro Day. At first it was like, oh, this is easy peasy, not much going on today. And I was like, oh no, we can dig in deep and do some cool stuff today. So that is it for today, but book a reading if you want to dive in deeper. And I will see you tomorrow. Namaste.